Hey, Truth Seekers, welcome back. Zach here. In this video, I want to talk about WrestleMania 31, which happened in March of 2015, and Super Bowl 50. It turns out there's some amazing syncs between these events, and those syncs are actually somewhat concerning. Please keep in mind I don't do this research or these presentations to fearmonger. I only do them for knowledge and awareness. If you know someone who's going to Super Bowl 50, you might want to have them watch this video before they do so. Years ago, people thought that professional wrestling was not rigged. Eventually, it came out that it was. Ever since that information came out, professional wrestling has done even better than it did before. It's become more popular, which is actually quite depressing when you think about it. That means the people who supported that league once upon a time were purposefully deceived, and for their deception, they got nothing in return, but the deceivers prospered on the truth coming out. Anyhow, in part of my work, I try to show that professional sports are rigged. And I shouldn't say try to show, I do show. I have proven that pro sports are rigged. I've made way too many predictions in the last year that have become true. People want to dismiss me because I miss some things or don't get it quite all the way right, but these people, they don't see the forest for the trees. You know? In the past year, I've called the Triple Crown. I've called the Mets in the World Series in spring training. I called the NBA Finals as Warriors Cavs in the regular season. And I've called a bunch of other smaller sports events. I guaranteed Alabama would win the college football championship, and so on. Anyhow, I'm doing this not because I'm a psychic or a prophet. I'm doing this because I've broken the code of the people who rule over us with lies and deceit. They use the language of gematria, the practice of coding numbers into words, and they use numerology. So, with that in mind, let's go through WrestleMania 31 and how it syncs up with Super Bowl 50 and what the big concern is. Notice first that San Francisco and WrestleMania have gematria of 50. WrestleMania was 31 was hosted by the San Francisco 49ers. This year the 49ers are hosting Super Bowl 50. This was WrestleMania 31 hosted in California. California is the 31st state. The 31st state. The event was March 29th, the 88th day of the year. California is one of only two states with a gematria of 88. The other is Maryland. This year at Super Bowl 50, the halftime entertainment is Coldplay, which also has the gematria of 88. The date of the event had numerology of 67. Levi's equals 67. It was in Levi's Stadium. Fell on a date with 47 numerology, a number connected to championships, the first Super Bowl in the 47th year of the NFL, the first NBA championship in 47, an important number to the Freemasons and Zionists who create these pro sports leagues, who run our media, and so much more. The headliner for this event was Brock Lesnar, who was fighting Roman Reigns. Brock Lesnar in Gematria sums to 74 like Masonic. His name also sums to 83 like football. Interesting that there's the link between the wrestling match and football. And also, if you look up the backgrounds, a lot of these wrestlers, they were college football players. Think of The Rock. The Rock this year was also in a movie, San Andreas, about a horrible earthquake destroying much of California. And that movie is flying around in helicopter 121, which we'll talk more about at the end. Notice also Brock Lesnar, the small way, sums to 46, just like Levi's Stadium. Also 55, corresponding with the stadium. This year, the Broncos are in their 55th year of existence. Levi's Stadium equals Denver Broncos. In history, John Elway lost in Super Bowl 24 to the 49ers 55-10. This year, Elway's 55, so are the Broncos. Brock Lesnar's birthday, a date with 96 numerology, the Freemason coding, also 115, like Freemasons in plural. Roman Reigns, his opponent, has this similar birth numerology. The head of the WWF, now WWE, is Vince McMahon, a Freemason, born on a date with 96 numerology as well as 33 numerology. Vincent, a name with 33 gematria, just like his middle name, Kennedy. McMahon, gematria of 31. This was WrestleMania 31, his league. Brock Lesnar for the fight also had his agent promoter character with him, Paul Heyman. Keep in mind, I don't follow this league at all. I haven't watched a wrestling fight in my life, honestly, but I mean, I've seen it here and there. But honestly, I probably haven't even seen a part of a wrestling fight since I was in high school. So keep in mind, I'm not knowledgeable about the sport, but I do understand how this decoding thing works. His birthday is September 11th, a special day to the Zionists and the Masons, a day of tragedy now in our history, September 11th. This year he turned 50. Again, WrestleMania having Gematria 50. He was 49 at the time, the event being hosted in the home of the 49ers. His name has Gematria of 116, or 911 upside down, which is interesting seeing as how he's born on September 11th. A lot of interesting things in his numbers. If you've been following my NFL work, I've been talking about how this year's football season is synced up with the 85 Bears. Tomorrow, Wednesday, the Wednesday before the Super Bowl, the 30 for 30 on ESPN is about the 85 Bears, which just makes me laugh. I've been talking about the 85 Bears in light of this season for a while now. Anyhow, the opponent of Brock Lesnar was Roman Reigns. Matching birth numerology, something we often find when people are fighting each other from boxing to wrestling. This goes this way in other sports events too. What happened though in this fight is neither of the headliners won the fight. It was a surprise. A third person came in and won the fight. And I'm going to show you how Seth Rollins has all the syncs with California. And also, as I read this, I want you to think about how in the NFL, there's this narrative that Manning's old, he might get hurt. His backup, Brock Osweiler, might end up coming in the game. Another Brock. Brock has Gematria of 49. WrestleMania hosted in the stadium built for the 49ers. Super Bowl 50 in the stadium of the 49ers. Anyhow, here we go. While both men were down, Seth Rollins ran in from the back with his Money in the Bank briefcase and cashed in his contract with referee Mike Chioda, turning the singles match into a triple threat match. Rollins then knocked Reigns out of the ring and hit a curb stomp to the dazed Lesnar. Rollins went for a second curb stomp, but Lesnar caught him and lifted him for an F5. Reigns speared Lesnar while he was holding Rollins, and as Lesnar rolled out of the ring. Rollins, who spun out of the way of the spear, quickly delivered a curb stomp to Reigns, pinning him to win this title. Okay, so check this out. Money in the Bank has very interesting gematria. The big way it equals 156, the small way it equals 66. And these numbers were very much connected to September 11th. Let me show you what I mean. The firm that built the World Trade Centers, Magnuson Klemenchik Associates, they also built Levi's Stadium, where WrestleMania 31 was, where Super Bowl 50 will be. And what's creepy about this firm is this. Their name in gematria sums to 111, also 156. And with regards to the World Trade Centers, they came crashing down on September 11th, the day that leaves 111 days left in the year. Notice that New York in gematria equals 111. September 11th is also New Year's Day for the Coptic calendar. The word Coptic has gematria of 66. 66 is a special number. When you sum 1 through 11, it totals 66. New York's the 11th state. The World Trade Centers were like giant 11s, standing 110 stories tall. 0 doesn't count in numerology. 110's a lot like 11. The first plane to supposedly hit the buildings that day was Flight 11. Call me crazy, but I'm telling you, Truth Seeker, those were special effects on TV. Those planes defied the laws of physics, the way they flew, the way they banked, the way they melted into the building. We live in a nation of incredible deceit. What happened on September 11th is bombs went off and special effects were shown on TV, giving people the illusion of airplanes being responsible. There were no planes on 9/11. That's why Flight 93 of 33 passengers in Pennsylvania left no debris. That's why the Pentagon hole was so small and there was no corresponding plane parts. That's why no planes were found at the World Trade Centers. Anyhow, the numbers on this firm sync up perfectly with September 11th. And the Paris terror hoax this past year, November 13th, had a lot of 9/11 connections, and it also had a major connection to the upcoming Super Bowl. The Paris terror attack hoax of November 13th was exactly 86 days before February 7th, the day of the Super Bowl. California in history was established on a date with 86 numerology. Symbol, triangle, pyramid, important number. In history, there was a major bombing on 8/6/1945, Hiroshima, a date with 33 numerology. Hines Ward, who played this character in the Batman movie, even finished his career with 86 touchdowns, wearing 86 for the Steelers. Think about this movie, The Dark Knight Rises. In Colorado at the premiere, it was shot up. Remember this? Now Colorado's in this Super Bowl. All of these stories have been hoaxes and riddles for a bigger event to come. Ward, who played in this movie, Hines Ward, notice the name Ward has gematria of 46. This year is the 46th Super Bowl of the modern era, which began with Super Bowl V. What we're doing in this video is trying to put the riddle together. See where the head of it is, where it's taking us to. Money in the Bank briefcase, as it was referred to in this write-up, what he brought in to cash in and become the triple, what'd they call it? The triple threat match. Money in the Bank briefcase has gematria of 224, just like Terrorist Strike, and this is another number that was coded all over the Paris terror hoax. Go back and visit my work from then. You will see how I decoded all this, how important this coding was in the event. A lot is being foreshadowed for a bigger terror strike in the U.S. We've been getting these warnings all year. The reason why is because the powers that be want to lead us to another unnecessary war. So it's interesting that all these numbers are coded into this event at Levi's Stadium, which predated the Super Bowl, and we're still getting to the main point. Seth Rollins, who won with the Money in the Bank briefcase, has gematria of 52, just like California. Seth in simple English gematria is also 52. Seth Rollins equals 151, just like Carolina Panthers, who went 15-1 this year. Just like Denver, Colorado, which equals 151. Just like the 85 Bears that were also 15-1. Ron Rivera played on that team, now coaches the Panthers. All this amazing synchronicity, the only reason it's possible is because it's all scripted. Seth Rollins was born Kobe Lopez, which has gematria of 50, just like San Francisco, just like WrestleMania, just like Super Bowl. Kobe, a name with 57 gematria, connecting to championship and Super Bowl. Kobe Lopez equals 131, just like Super Bowl equals 131, just like championship equals 131. He essentially won the WrestleMania championship. He too was born on a date with numerology of 119, 119. This number yet again. Also numerology of 39. This year's Super Bowl, Manning's 39. Charlotte equals 39, where the Panthers are from. Denver on the 39th parallel. 57, life lesson number, just like the name Kobe. Now here's where it gets real interesting, Truth Seeker. Stone Cold Steve Austin, one of the best remembered WWE characters, known for Austin 316 was his thing, which was a play on John 316. From the date of WrestleMania to the date of the Super Bowl is a span of 316 days, or 10 months and 10 days. Here's the numbers on Stone Cold Steve Austin. Steve Austin equals 38. This year the Super Bowl's on the 38th day of the year. Steve Austin also equals 155, like Christianity, what he really promoted. His birthday gives him life lesson number, birth numerology of 113. A number often coded by the Freemasons. Scottish equals 113, as in Scottish Rite Freemasonry, so does mainstream, dishonest. Think about wrestling and Christianity. Two very highly deceptive things in this world. A lot of people fooled by fake wrestling. A lot of people fooled by fake Christians. He's also born on a date with a life lesson number of 50. This year's Super Bowl 50. With regards to that span of 10 months and 10 days, that connects to Revelation. Revelation. These are the numbers of Revelation. So is the number 49. 49ers hosting Super Bowl 50. So is 67. Levi's equals 67. The stadium is on the 121st meridian, syncing up with Revelation, just like 49, home of the 49ers. And Revelation's about the end times, hell coming to earth. Hell has gematria 37. The stadium's on the 37th parallel.